Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian, and we are in Simi Valley at the Reagan Library for the 4th Annual Reagan National Defense Forum. Our coverage here is sponsored by Raytheon, and we're honored to have with us Roger Zakheim, who is a partner at Covington & Burling, but also on the executive committee of the Reagan National Defense Forum. Roger, thanks very much for taking a little bit of time out of your crazy schedule as you prepare this terrific event.
Thanks for having me. Welcome to Reagan National Defense Forum.
I'm honored to be here. Full disclosure, I'm one of the participants here. I'm going to be moderating a couple of panels. Roger, what is it you guys are trying to achieve with this forum? You know, we were talking a little bit earlier, 4 years ago when it was born, it was a little bit of a challenge getting it up and running, but this year you guys are going to have 700 participants. What is it you guys are trying to accomplish?
Well, our goal is to bring all the stakeholders of the national defense community together in an offsite. People see each other in Washington from time to time, single day here, single day there. We're going to bring the leaders from the Pentagon, civilian side, the military side, congressional leaders, and industry, and thought leaders like yourself here at the Reagan Forum.
Thanks very much. I appreciate the plug. But really, this is an enormous challenge. You have not only Secretary of Defense Dr. Carter is coming, Joe Dunford, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the entire Joint Chiefs of Staff are coming. How big of a challenge is this from just an organizational standpoint to get all these senior leaders? And that's not even talking about the CODEL.
Well, I think for the Reagan Library, it's a fantastic venue. You'll look around, you'll see they put on the presidential debate, so they're great at hosting events with a lot of VIPs. And to bring, as you said, the service chiefs here, as well as the Secretary of Defense, Chairman of Joint Chiefs, and this year we actually have ministers of defense coming in from Europe and as far away as Singapore. It's challenging, we constantly challenge ourselves, but we think we're going to pull it off with great success.
You guys have every year. Obviously, surprise election of Donald Trump. Nation's going to be the nation's 45th president on January the 20th. You work the program particularly hard to make sure it's topical, it's current, and it's on point. What are some of the panels and the discussions you want to engender to help sort of shape the next administration's policies?
I'll hit on three. We are looking at 3 or 4 issues that we know that the Trump administration perhaps will depart from the previous administration or introduce new. We'll start with the fact that President-elect Trump has called for a military rebuild. We'll explore that. We'll do a debate actually on whether or not we should focus on rebuilding the military, reforming the military. You'll lead that one, Vago, as you know. We're also going to talk about allies and our alliances and how they'll fare in the next administration. And then you can't do an event a month after election without talking about the presidential transition. So we'll go pretty deep on what the Department of Defense transition will look like. And I should mention, we'll have 2 former Secretaries of Defense talk about what the next Secretary of Defense, which we believe will be General Mattis, needs to focus on come January 20th, and that would be Vice President Cheney, of course, was the Secretary of Defense during the Bush administration, 41, and then, of course, we'll have Leon Panetta, who was Secretary of Defense for President Obama.
And there's also an award ceremony. The conference culminates with that. Tell us a little bit about why Ash Carter was selected and why Vice President Cheney was selected.
Well, we knew Ash Carter, for all likelihood, would be winding up his time as Secretary of Defense, and he's a unique secretary. He served in a number of administrations and lots of different jobs inside the building, probably has more familiarity with the Pentagon than any other serving Secretary of Defense, so it was important for us to honor him. And then Vice President Cheney was important because not only was he a Vice President, of course, a member of Congress, but he was a Secretary of Defense. Many people forget, given his illustrious career, that he served at the head of the Pentagon, and many view him as a very successful Secretary of Defense. We'll focus on that too.
And he was Secretary of Defense at an extremely challenging time, the end of the Cold War, obviously the first Gulf War, which was also sort of a key moment in U.S. history.
Yeah, and I think he's quite important to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Library because it was Dick Cheney as Secretary of Defense who relied on the military that Ronald Reagan built up to prevail in the first war in Iraq.
Roger, thanks very much. Best of luck on over the coming days, and we look forward to talk to you at the very end to give us a recap.
Well, great to have you here. Look forward to doing it tomorrow on the panel.